Welcome to the Flashing Badger podcast. Thanks for joining us. My name is Gordon. I'm joined today by my friends.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Fitz.
I'm Wegs.
And today we are playing the Lightless Beacon scenario of Call of Cthulhu. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. But you've also joined us at part 3 of a 3-part story. So go back, listen to episodes 1 and 2, and then we'll be waiting right here for you. Roll the intro. When you were last with us, our intrepid investigators had just found the top of the Beacon Island lighthouse. They'd come across lighthouse keeper Cassidy, who threw himself from the window rather than talk to them. Often the way I feel when doing the GMing. When they went down to inspect his corpse, they found another cache of the mysterious gold coins hidden on his person, and all around the island it appears it's coming to life with signs of creatures emerging from the undergrowth. Let's join them again and see what's happening. Wegs, when we last left you, you'd, in a panic, run into the kitchen, back against the wall, holding a newly found revolver, protecting yourself against the noise and the movement outside, the undergrowth moving, the creatures. How are you feeling this time?
Not great. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, I'm panicked. I see this going south very quickly, and I'm not a man of natural bravery. So I've barricaded myself in the sort of study kitchen area. I'm sort of now rethinking my options. Like maybe I need to get back with the other guys and let them know what I've seen.
While you're holed up there, when you finally slam against the wall, the door is sort of rattled shut behind you, and your back against the wall come to rest. As your breathing slows, very faintly, you realise you can hear a distant sort of screaming or groaning coming from outside. Over the whistle of the wind, you can just faintly hear it. It doesn't sound far away, but it's unsettling. It sounds like a human being in distress to you. I'll leave you with that to think on it while we return to Nautical John and Carter Dixon, our marine biologist and bureau agent, who are up the top of the lighthouse at the moment, having just figured out that the lighthouse was put out of action by a gunfight between Cassidy, the lighthouse keeper, and some unspeakable Eldritch beasties. How are you two?
Normally I can relate to my character, but here I can't because Nautical John is maintaining his sanity and this isn't eating away at him, but the poor individual trying to steer him is terrified.
And I'm sitting here going, monsters. We just found monsters. And everyone seems relatively calm given the circumstance. I'm a little bit, I may be the swan. On the outside, I may be appearing calm, but just below the surface, I am furiously paddling. I'm stressing out. However, I think last time, from memory, we had heard the slamming of doors downstairs, and Reggie had run away from us. I don't think there's much else for us to do up here. I think we should go. He ran downstairs, I'm assuming, to go look at who jumped off and check on their welfare.
I've looked out into the distance from atop of this lighthouse, and I could see that there was a smaller ship that has washed ashore further down along the beach, but I could also see a lot of rustling through the bushes and movement down at ground level. It causes me concern, but we've identified that even this isn't a safe place to be up here.
I'll just correct you very quickly. The boat you saw at the South Pier was actually tied up, so it was meant to be there. It wasn't washed up. Looks in good condition.
We could have someone appraise it for its value. Then we'll tell you just how good a condition it's in.
I'm reminded of the journal I discovered in last episode in Michael Turner's bed, which indicated that he had made notes about there was lights in the water and a small rowboat. Perhaps this rowboat could be a way out for us. Either way, I'm thinking we might want to head down to where the doors are, maybe check on Reggie and see what's going on down there, because something is inside, and I think it would be not wise to stay in the one spot for too long.
We're in a position where, as we were to leave this top room of the lighthouse, the radio was just below us. Yeah. The last time we'd reached out was to organise a rescue, which we were told was a matter of hours away. We could always report back in with some information now. I'm excited by the discovery that's before us because I see it as a research and recognition opportunity for me. I'm keen that even if it was well after I'm gone, devoured by fish monsters, I could be credited for something. There may be an opportunity here for us to update the radio.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to at least even more basic than that, like to tell someone that we just found monsters and they should come and get us quick smart.
Okay. So you're going to run back down. Who's leading the way? Talk to me about how alert you are going down these stairs.
Every opportunity I get, I try and have someone ahead of me. So I show the way, and then I'm just like, you're right, we should go down. And then I step out of the way as if I'm in the way of, no, please, go first, Carter. I'll be right behind you.
I'm happy to go first. I have the gun. It's drawn and at the ready. There are monsters around. I've had enough of this. I'm a little bit scared, but I'm the bigger and burlier one. I'm happy to go first.
And you have a mustache.
And I have a mustache.
Is it a ballistic mustache? Does it protect you from threats?
Let me just check those stats for him real quick.
Here's the threat.
I load my mustache, ready to go.
Excellent. All right, so you make your way down that short flight of stairs, which takes you to the service room, still right at the top of the lighthouse tower there where the radio was. And you're getting back on the radio?
Absolutely.
So give me your best walkie-talkie. Oh.
Is that, I
Is the
can't.
throat clear?
Yeah, sorry. Throat clear before the walkie-talkie. Breaker. I don't know radio speak.
Surely as a bureau man, you'd have a bit about you.
Yeah, roll radio for me.
Yeah.
So, sure enough, you come up and the Coast Guard's like, yeah, we copy you, Beacon Island. What's the update? Give me your 10-4.
We've got a code 709, a code 709. That's the bureau code for
Fish monsters.
for monsters or UFOs.
Yeah.
709.
A 709.
Confirm a 709.
A 709.
You hear
Oh.
the paper rustling on the other end as he's flicking through a little book all the way to 709.
It's a Mardi Gras parade fire.
That's a 708. 709. 709.
709A.
709A. Oh, monster fish. Monster, fish. Yep, I understood. All right, so you're communicating to them that you're in need of more urgent assistance?
Yes, we are. We need helicopters and
Helicopters.
Heli what?
They're just going to bring these well in advance. They got a team to the side
I'm
researching these.
going to make such an embarrassing question. I'm going to
Okay, before you ask, viewers, I'd like you all to send us a message in the Discord, and let's see if we can guess what year helicopters were invented. Fitz, I'll give you a clue. It's after 1926.
Yeah, I think the Wright brothers didn't really get off the ground until about 1900.
Well, Vietnam War was the first theatre that
Yeah.
helicopters were operational.
Do you see
in.
many much helicopter footage from World War II, which
Yeah.
is coming up in 19 years?
Oh, God. Spoilers.
World War what? World War
He's
what?
trying to get his head around so much.
I just left the last war. It was the Great War, the war to end all wars. What are you talking
Yeah, I've got some bad news for you.
You're a good 30 years off the utility helicopter, I'm afraid.
So no, I'm guessing drones aren't around then too.
No,
all right.
I'll double check my sources, but I'm reasonably confident.
Wondering why there's no jet skis at the pier.
I've just realised I've asked that question out loud to the many people listening, and now I feel the fool.
If only you had the power of the edit.
Which I don't.
Both people listening think you're an idiot.
Yeah, I just I start to get a bit panicked and say that you need to send all the guys right now.
Quite gendered language, but I'm sure for 1926 that'll be allowed.
As you're aware, my uncle is quite high up in the bureau.
Roger, we'll get you a telegram to the bureau. We'll expect to hear back in 2 to 4 days.
I just feel like they'd be mocking me on the end. Sure, we'll get you some fishing poles to do with your fishmen.
Oh yeah, your uncle. My uncle works for Nintendo.
They were the helicopter brand, right?
Nintendo actually
I
started
know.
Trading card company from the 1800s.
Yes, all right.
trivia wins. Right. So
Yeah, they're listening to the radio and they're like, that's the 18th report of massive fish monsters on Beacon Island. They're also crazy.
must be nothing. Yeah, like seeing a sneaking man in a cardboard box. It must be nothing. All right, so you make your way. You've done that on the radio. Are you going to make your way further down, or are you going back up?
No, I think we'll make our way down. Can I suggest there was a toolbox we passed on the way from memory? Perhaps you could arm yourself.
You think my scalpel and my pencil aren't enough for combat?
It's the pen that's mightier, not the 2 HB.
I search for a pen.
You find a pen disguised as a large wrench that you can use as a blunt weapon if you'd like.
I love it. You able to quick fire some stats at me for the wrench?
Sure am.
I'm looking forward to this being the same as my scalpel.
I was about to say.
It's going to be exactly the same, except it rolls 1d4 damage dice.
Thank you.
Honey, I'm so tired.
Frankly, Terence, you've become a bore.
Stop feeling low and sleepy. Try new Dr. Boots improved formula laudanum, now in delicious deviled egg flavor syrup.
I feel positively alive.
Sweetheart, you're so dashing and handsome. Dance the Charleston with me.
Do you have a heart condition? Is tooth retention important to you? Would you like to continue being a miserable sad sack left at home every night with no friends? If you answered no to all of these, try Dr. Boots' laudanum today.
Flashing badger.
So you keep making your way down the stairs, and at the base there you find yourself facing out into the corridor for the lighthouse. And the wind has picked up now, and you can see that the door at the far end is just gently banging against the wall, but remaining mostly open. And from standing where you are, you can't see far out into what's now driving rain and winds. And you can see up the top, and as you see now, you can see the breakers out on the ocean are high. Like the weather is not sustainable for happy sailing. The kitchen door's off to your right. That's where you heard noise from down here. Where do you want to go?
I'd like to call out, because I've lost track of where Reggie is.
Yeah, so have I.
And I'm trying to get my bearings of if something was heard inside, is it friendly or foe? So I'm tentatively calling out, because I'm still scared. Reggie, Sasquatch.
That's not my normal
I don't
language.
think
I'd like to
you're-
revise my response.
Sure.
The call and response. Nautical John, that you?
It is. I'm also with Carter. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. There's something out there. Come join me in this room. Remind me what the room is.
The kitchen.
Get in the kitchen. We need to make ourselves safe.
I try and open the door, but it's blocked by a small wooden table.
Oh, sorry. I'm sitting in front of the door. Let me move. I'll let him into the kitchen. We're back. We're back as three.
The kitchen has got your window to the outside there, looking out the front. You can't see anything, but obviously the trees are flailing around in the breeze, and the rain is now beginning to pound against the window, limiting your visibility down a lot. You do know that from when you ran outside before, you saw those few outbuildings standing behind the lighthouse itself, which you haven't had a good look in. But you're not sure what their sort of defensible state is. It's going to be up to you guys where you want to go. If you want to make a break for it, you want to curl up in a ball and hide.
I give Reggie an update on some of the things that we'd seen, including the boat that is moored down by the other pier at the southern end of the island. There's some small buildings out the back, but there's also a lot of movement outside that we're suspicious of. But we're thinking there was a clue from a journal that may relate to the boat, so we may be able to uncover what's happening on this island.
And I'm very keen to get updated on who that was that jumped out of the lighthouse.
Yeah. I saw him. He was well and truly dead. I've taken his gun. I've reloaded it, so I'm ready to defend us as well. You need to know we've got this purse of coins. You know those coins we found in the study? There's more of them. They're not right. They're weird. Whoever found these coins has disturbed something. We need to try and distance ourselves from whatever they've uncovered.
Have any of you seen the imagery or symbology on these coins before? Do they mean anything to either of you?
I recognised them, I think from last episode, I recognised them as an occult type coin. Without too much knowledge on it, I know that they are to do with the occult, they're to do with ancient black.
Yeah, it was like South Seas religious worship in unknown.
And it may be classified back where you work, but we need to get out of this alive. Is there anything you can tell us? Do you think this is cult activity?
I'll be honest with you guys, now that we're in this, what I fear is quite a thing, I'm really worried about my friend Michael Turner. That's not his real name. He's an undercover agent like myself. I'm here to check on him. I'm really worried about where he is, and I feel we need to find him now.
I will remind you, Reggie. They don't know this, but obviously you heard that scream from outside.
Yeah, I heard that moan. I was actually
before they
I was
came to.
going to disclose that. I don't know if you guys can hear it. There was a weird scream, moan noise coming from outside. I'm not 100% sure of the direction. I was freaking out. There's something in those bushes out there. I just wanted to get to safety.
I can just hear the wind howling. Are you sure it wasn't the wind?
And as if on cue,
I'm not.
you hear from it's mostly obscured by the wind and the rain, but from the fairly near distance, you hear what sounds like a human screaming in agony.
See, it was just the wind. And I close the kitchen door.
And then we get on a boat and go home.
Helicopter.
That's right. The helicopter takes you to your jet skis. All right. So, what do you want to do? There's you've heard this strange noise out there.
Wherever we go, and look, I know I've been running off, but I feel like we're safer together. I figure our options are: one, go and investigate this screen. Could be dangerous. I don't see us enjoying it much. Two, head up to, in that journal that you found, there was something about the North Shore, finding coins on the North Shore.
Yes, there was.
I think we need to take those coins back to the North Shore. Like, whatever. I feel like whoever's taken those coins has brought something from the North Shore. The coins go back. Maybe if nothing else, it's a sign that we're not a threat to whatever's out there.
I clench my wrench, and for whatever reason, Nautical John still has confidence, and he's ready. I'm certainly not going to lead the way, but I'm like, okay, shall we go?
I'm keen to find my friend, my colleague, my fellow agent. So I'm wanting to head out and investigate where the scream and the yell.
But we don't know that the scream is your friend.
It sounded human-like, didn't it?
It did. You assume it was human?
Yeah, I'm keen to.
So I'll remind you, the North Shore is where you came ashore, for want of a better word. You arrived just near that North Pier. The other pier that you saw with the spare boat was to your south. You're essentially in the middle of the island. So the east and western sides, there's clusters of thicket and sort of bushes that look not impenetrable, certainly, but not tamed.
What was your clue about the south with the other boat? Because what I'm thinking is maybe the coins have been disturbed from the north. That's already invoked whatever's occurring on the island, and now we're supposed to head south.
The only thing made in the notes of Michael is that, in relation to that, is that there's lights on the water. There was a small rowboat. All these ship parts and found gold were from the North Shore. Smith said he saw someone in the trees and peering through the window, and there's men on the island at night that make a croaking noise or frog sounds.
Okay, so it doesn't really tell us a direction.
Doesn't tell us anything.
So how about we investigate the screaming?
I think we investigate the screaming. Whoever's screaming may know more.
Yeah, all right, but in terms of going south to the other rowboat, I think we scratch that idea. Like, we get on the rowboat and the seas are too rough and choppy anyway, so then we're just stuck doing nothing. So
Yeah, for me it wasn't even an escape on the boat. It was,
I'm just saying,
is there another clue or something as to what's happening to the south? But I'm one hand firmly pushing our bureau agent Carter Dixon here. And you're right, you've got this, and I'm following behind as we head towards the screams. Somehow your cigarette stayed lit in the rain as you move.
You just
as well.
chain soaking.
Yeah.
His hat's folded down almost over his eyes, but your cigarette's just
still lit, and I take a dry one out. It's perfectly dry, not even crumpled.
We're heading out towards the sounds. I'm happy to lead the way. The screaming, best we could tell. Before we go, have a quick scan. Is there like a lantern or anything like that might be of use out in the...
There's those lanterns back by the front door. There were a couple of oil lanterns there that you could go back and light and take with you if you like.
Actually, while we're grabbing things, should we grab the rest of the coins from...
What coins?
Remember the coins that were in the
hallway?
Yeah, I think I already pocketed mine.
All right, well, let's get them all together and put them back in the purse.
Yeah, I'll give them to you guys.
Okay, so you put them all in that
Yeah,
purse.
put them all in the purse.
And
So
Reggie's still carrying that.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
No worries. Yeah, so you can go back and get the lantern and...
I put those gumboots on that are at the front door as well.
Good idea.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Is
You tuck your pants over them?
Not my first expedition.
I put on a raincoat, even though I'm wet already.
And that front door that's banging open and closed, are you going to secure that or leave it how it is?
Yeah, I think we should fortify or secure it as best we can.
But if we're leaving, do we want to be able to get back in if we need to?
You decide, what are we doing as we run out?
Yeah, so that's on the very northern side of the building.
Shut it.
So, and you make your way back out, going out through the kitchen, through the side door there. And that walks you out along the outside curving wall of the lighthouse. So that's on your right-hand side. So you walk along, holding the lantern in one hand and your revolver in the other, with your shoulder almost touching. And as you slowly come around the curvature of the lighthouse there, coming into view is like a shed that's been put together that looks like an outdoor shower. There's like a tank on top of the roof, bit of corrugated iron, there's a jury-rig shower head. It's like a pretty simple valve to release the bucket over your head. As you continue coming around the corner, and that's open, there's no doors or walls or anything, it's just a shack. As you come further around the corner there, you can see directly nestled against the back of the building is a small, almost lean-to style shed. and that's from within. You can hear that the noise you identify as a generator before, coming from inside. And you can see slightly further back, just a few feet on the opposite side of the path, is a very small single-room building with a door shut on the front. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep following around the curve, or would you like to go and look in one of those?
We can't, so we can see inside the shower.
Yeah, the shower's just 4 struts holding a roof. There's no walls.
There's no people in it.
No. And that generator shed is small, but the door is shut. You can hear the generator noise within, but nothing else.
Are we calling out?
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Calling out Michael.
So over the beating of the rain and the driving of the wind, you call out a couple of times, and I swear you hear a sort of renewal of this scream, and it's coming from a shed slightly further around, past the generator shed, the one that you don't have great eyes on at the moment. It's certainly coming from around the other side of the lighthouse.
I'm still one hand in your back, pushing you straight towards it as we're clomping through the mud, and I'm not even looking at the other things around me, and I'm just saying, keep going, they're just up here.
And I think our plan is to get whoever this is, help them, and then bring them back.
We keep moving around the bend towards the screaming.
Aware on.
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
Okay, so coming around as you do, there's a shed there that's slightly larger than the others that backs almost up to the thicket, and the other side opens out to the rear left-hand side of the lighthouse. As you approach, you can hear this like a whimpering noise from inside, but the door is shut, and it's you can't see within from where you are. You'll have to move up and open the door if you want to look inside.
You want to enter, and I'll keep an eye on the perimeter.
Pretty good. Using all my Federal Bureau skills, I do the most dramatic entrance possible.
Mm-hmm. Last time you did that was into a
pantry.
3-foot wide pantry.
This time it's going to be cool. And I shout out, I'll even shout out the other bloke's name, Turner, Smith, it's Carter Dixon. And I basically then kick open the door, gun raised, very stylized, mushroom through into the room, mustache into the room, not mushroom.
Mushroom?
No, mustache into the room first,
Yep.
followed by me, big grand entrance.
Okay. So you throw open the door, and inside you're confronted by this workshop. A work shed, if you will, for those of you who have seen Evil Dead 2. And inside this work shed, there's shelves, there's an oil lamp that's lit in there, there's mechanical parts, you can see there's a vice on the edge of the table. But the first thing that draws your attention is a man kneeling on the ground in front of the workbench with both his hands on the countertop, nailed to it. And there's blood everywhere. There's blood down his arms, there's blood around his hands. He's doing this whimpering, and he seems to be sort of hanging limp, like he's coming in and out of consciousness. Looking around the rest of the shed, you can't see. There's no spaces for anything to hide that you can see. It's pretty narrow with workbench on the other side. What would you like to do?
Do I recognise this man, or can I not see him?
He's got his head down. He's completely slumped. He's fallen himself, so his arms are basically covering his face at the moment as he's kneeling on the ground.
Sir, hello, are you okay, sir?
And he's just continues whimpering, but slowly tilts his head towards you.
I'm thinking this is a trap, so I'm super heightened. I'm ready to go. I'm watching their backs.
I'm not very tactical now, so I'm now just trying to care for this person. So I move closer, and I do lower myself down towards their level, and I'm quite close, and I'm trying to get their attention. I'm like, are you okay?
Do you want to give me a first aid roll if someone's got first aid? I'd say both of you assess just by having a look at him. You can get a pretty quick picture.
Yep. I failed my first aid roll.
I rolled a 76 and I failed my first aid roll too.
Okay.
I'm sort of not involved in this.
Sure.
I'm watching the...
Well, even just with your layman skill, you can tell this guy's in like a really bad way. He's pale, he's shaking, he looks like he's barely conscious. And as you get closer to him, Nautical John sort of leans in, and all he can hear is just this murmuring and muttering. And it's clear to you just from the damage done to this guy that he's been tortured here, and he hasn't been accidentally nailed to the bench. I think you can work out that this isn't a horrible industrial accident.
Carter, he's not in a good way, and someone's done this to him. Someone who's still here.
I agree, and he's not responding obviously to any of our "Hey mate, how are you? Who did this to you?" Any of that?
Nothing. He's still just murmuring. Every now and then he'll scream but he seems completely oblivious to the fact that you're even there.
You think we should get him down and...
I move my attention away from him and I'm looking around the rest of the room to try and understand what style of room we're in. Like, I know you've described it, but if there's signs of if it's taken place here, what's happened to him?
Yeah, there's obviously blood on the bench and there's a little bit of blood on the floor, but you can't see, there's not, broken things and everything. It looks like there's dirt floor, looks like there's sort of scuffling in there, but most of that might have been caused by Carter rolling in. As far as you can tell, it's just an everyday corrugated iron roof.
Carter, I'm freaking out. There's weird coins that are glowing. There's mention of the cult. This guy's pinned down like he's being sacrificed. I don't know what's going on here.
And thanks for mentioning that. I'll get you all to do a sanity roll for me.
I've passed.
I passed too.
Why am I so calm?
I passed.
You were all... you can only take 2 sanity damage regardless.
Yes. Request to fail.
Yeah, it's still not awesome, but...
It's still not cool. I start looking around for a nail pinch or a hammer or something that might be able to assist in getting him
Claw
down.
hammer, there's a couple of sets of pliers and things.
I look at getting the nails out of his hands so we might help him. And I start to say to the others, let's get him back to the lighthouse.
So as soon as you start, you get the claw hammer, as soon as you start pulling, the screaming takes full volume. It's deafening to you. And instantly, you regret your decision. You're all going to make a sanity roll for the sounds of a human in abject horror.
I passed.
I fail.
I also failed.
Did you fail a lot?
No.
I failed a lot.
Okay, so you can take 2 sanity for me, please, Reggie, and you can take 4 for me, Carter. You've inflicted this. It makes sense that you're feeling the worst out of it.
I'm not even in the room.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
looking for
There's
monsters.
still lots of screaming. You can keep going if you like.
Am I making headway?
Half-backed 1 nail out.
I can't leave him here.
Carter, you need to stop.
Yeah, nah. We this is not working. This is
He's
not
done for.
Can I just... I don't recognise this man.
You don't recognise this man.
Help is on the way. They'll come for him if he can be saved, but we can't help him.
We can't just leave him here nailed to a bench.
Why not?
Because
Someone will have heard that
cruel
scream.
and inhumane.
That was deafening. Things will be on their way to us now. We need to keep moving.
And your senses, Reggie's standing in the doorway. He's hyper-focused, like you said, and he's swearing that he can hear over the rustling and the beating of the rain on a corrugated roof. He's swearing that he can hear this movement, that the bushes are moving contrary to the wind. And inside the shed, the smell of like blood and human excrement now is overwhelming. He's in a bad way.
I think we need to get to the North Shore and see if there's anything we can do to undo the damage that's been done by taking these coins.
Carter, we need to keep moving.
I'm not that... So, did I miss something about these coins? Do we think...
They were taken from the North Shore. Since then, they're engraved with occult symbols. They feel unnatural. Even you yourself are like, oh no, these are not of the natural world. This is unhealthy that these coins have been taken. There is creepy shenanigans afoot. You saw weird things shambling up the beach. What are our options?
The symbols on the coins were
that's
moving.
fine.
They felt oily even though they were
I'm
dry.
just worried about this guy.
Are you going to stand here all day and keep pulling nails out?
Hey man, I swore an oath.
I start pushing Carter towards the door, and I'm just repeating myself over and over. And I'm like, we have to go. We have to go.
We're done. We
and
can't
I push
help
him
this
all
man.
the way to Reggie. Take that, Jerry! The Great War is over, and in the home of undeniable freedom, the biggest winner is you! That's right, no enemies remain, and the military surplus materials will never be needed again. So come on down to Gill's Military Surplus and pick up a bargain. From ration packs to uniforms to agricultural equipment, we know our onions. Why? With all the talk around of giant octopus monsters, you can either ignore the Phonus Balonus, or now's the perfect time to pick yourself up a revolver from good old Gill's Military Surplus. Remember, the military don't need any of these supplies because the war is over. If another were to be on the horizon, well, they would have named the first one in a conventional numbering system to help tell them apart in the future.
Caution, Badger.
So you're a few steps outside the door to this big shed. You're directly around the back of the lighthouse now, and
I shut the door and lock it, at least for the bloke's safety.
sure. I don't know about locking, but you can shut it. There's just a simple bolt thing that goes through. But
Bar pinch in it to make
okay,
it more secure.
good. I love it. So you hear, as you step a few steps outside, you hear this almighty bang, and then there's the duk 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 noise of the generator stopped and coming to rest. And all of a sudden, the light that was shining out of the kitchen door you left open has gone dark. The island is plunged into darkness, lit now by the occasional roil of thunder and lightning.
North Shore. I don't think that lighthouse is safe.
The radio's now offline. The lighthouse might be dead to us. We need to keep moving.
All right, there's a track up to the North Shore. If I remember my
Yeah, we keep following this track,
Yeah.
don't we?
Back to the way we
There's
came.
guys straight ahead the way we were going. Let's keep moving.
keep moving up north.
Yeah, essentially that one track line straight down the centre of the island from north to south pier, as far as you can tell. So
I think we get to the pier and just wait for rescue.
I'm mindful that we'll put ourselves completely out in the open there. So we wouldn't be able to if we could secure ourselves in somewhere, electricity or not, it's safer. Rescue's coming.
Yeah, but I think rescue's still going to be a long time. The weather's turning and becoming worse. I think that we need to do something before the rescue arrives to be able to...
You don't want to try and lock ourselves in somewhere and fortify ourselves?
Let's
rather
check
than-
the North Shore. If nothing else, we'll draw them towards us and away from the lighthouse. Then we'll hoof it to the lighthouse, and if we barricade ourselves in there somehow, then so be it.
I grab my wrench, and now for the first time since being on this island, I start to lead the way, and I start stomping along the track, and I look back towards them both, and I'm like, we have to keep moving.
Hey,
I'm
with-
shuffling.
This is my idea. Yeah, I'm one step behind you.
that was my next question. You're not moving with any kind of stealth. You're moving straight down the middle of the track in the open.
I have no tactical prowess. I'm moving just with purpose.
I think the time for stealth has come and gone. I think whatever... There's something here. It knows we're here. It's actively following us.
You're staying with them, Cuddy. You're following them.
Yeah, but I'm at the rear now.
So you get about level with where the kitchen door is, where the round of the lighthouse base connects to the square outbuilding of the kitchen and the living quarters. Roll me a luck roll, please, everyone.
I failed.
I passed quite well.
I failed catastrophically.
As you round that curve of the lighthouse on the path, lit by a fortuitous flash of lightning just as you turn the corner, you see two horrific creatures. Not much shorter than a man, but with a hunched physique, with these large, muscular thighs leading to a broad, carrot-shaped upper torso, into the head that looks kind of like an anglerfish. It's like all underbite and rows of razor-sharp teeth, large, luminous disc eyes. And as soon as you come around this bend, they spin to face you, and an unhuman, gurgling fish noise comes out, which sounds a bit like a frog burbling, funnily enough. And they launch towards you. One of them begins to run. The other one punches over, ready to move. You two have guns out. You have a chance to react if you want to do something now. It's entirely up to you.
This is like turn-based combat in a really scary game, so this is where I open the blinds to let some light in. I get up and stretch a bit. I'm like, again, can't
Put
hurt
some
me.
music on, yeah.
Maybe just look at the last photo of the family before we get involved.
So obviously, as you've probably correctly surmised, we're entering combat. So when it comes to combat, you have a choice. Things move in a order of initiative according to their dexterity. I've already got that worked out, so I'm not going to bother asking you. What I will tell you is the people with guns are going to go first, then the baddies, and then the people with no guns.
I will fire my service revolver straight away. My trusty service revolver, using all my trained and all my training and skills.
Okay, so
I'm assuming they're screaming or making a noise when they're running towards us.
they're making their little burbling frog
Can
noise.
you give me an example of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll add it in post. Here. Fantastic. Right, so what I'll get you to do is roll me. It's exactly the same as a normal skill check. You're going to roll against your firearms skill. For you, Fitz, that is 50.
I rolled an 87,
Okay.
so I failed. No, it was an 8.
I'm going to get you to keep track of this for me. There's 6 shots in a revolver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
You
I
know-
do have some bullets in my pocket. but-
That's all right.
Yep.
You fire and a round goes loose, whipping past the shoulder of one of these. The creature doesn't even flinch. It just keeps running straight towards you. It's probably 3 or 4 steps from you. It's close. It's going to be on top of you soon. You've probably got one more opportunity to fire at it, or it's on top of you. So you'd be wanting to snap shots. Wegs, you got a gun as well. Talk to me.
There's something about this. I don't think we're going to be able to shoot our way out. I'm going to try something. So I can see the one that's running towards us is going for the G-Man, which I'm thinking, okay.
Is he going for me? Aren't I behind?
The two of you are virtually side by side. You're only a few paces apart.
So I distance myself from the running one. I step off to the side. I've got the coin purse. I look at the one that's stationary. I hold it up, point it towards the one that's hunched over. Say, wait, stop. And I show them that I don't want to shoot my way out of this. I want to give them back what's theirs.
The one that was facing you, that was coming towards you, turns around, turns its back to you, and hunches over. And you see a range of spines fire from its spinal area directly towards you. So you have an option. You're the victim of a ballistic attack or a firearm attack. You have the option. You can dive out of the way, but that will end up with you on the ground, or you can hope that it misses you. So it's going to make a roll, and you're going to make a roll. Would you like to duck for cover?
Yeah, I'll dodge.
So, anyways, it's fired at you very successfully. See about your dodge.
I've rolled a 45.
Okay, and your dodge is?
40. Now, at what point can I spend some luck points?
You can do that.
Yeah, I'll spend 5 luck points.
You see the creature hunch itself down into almost a fetal position, and these spines detach from its back, launching towards you at high speed. And they're coming directly at you when you throw yourself headlong off the path, and you end up lying completely prone on the ground. But you see them narrowly whiz past, missing your ankles. Looking back, you see Nautical John still standing there, cradling his wrench. John, what are you doing?
I'm trying to look like I'm contributing, but I don't want any part of this fight. I am not built for combat, and I've never been in a fight in my life. I go on all these amazing adventures with my dad, but somehow all the people around me protect me and get me home safe. So my intention now is to move further back and get behind both of the people with the firearms. So I'm looking to create some distance and move back.
Okay, so you're backing away.
I am.
All right, no problem. Fitz, we'll cut back to you. You can just out of the corner of your eye, you can hear the crunching on the gravel path as John is frantically backpedaling, wrench held before him. He's like pointing it at them as if it's going to do some kind of magic ward. Talk to me about what you're going to do.
I'm having that second shot.
Okay. So the creature's at a full run towards you. Are you just aiming center, or are you...
Center. 28, and I'm successful.
Okay, most excellent. So roll your, I think it's 1d10 for your damage there. Just roll that for me and let's see.
7.
The round, you let loose. You get in your weaver stance, equal feet apart. And gun
He was
in
at the
front of
bureau at that time, I believe.
This,
Trained person.
the classic old school.
Breathed out as I squeezed.
Yeah, that's right.
Plant your feet.
And
Yeah.
you let a single round go, and this round smacks straight into this thing, center mass, and you barely see this explosion of this sort of bluish, reddish blood come puffing out of it, and the thing continues at a full run towards you, collapsing as its feet go under it and sliding to a halt along the gravel next to you, like a baseball guy sliding into second base.
Baseball guy.
A baseball guy. This is 1920s America.
Wrigley
Babe Ruth
Field.
was popular.
Everyone loves
in the 20s.
baseball, man.
It's America's pastime.
That's right. And it comes to rest. You can't even... It sort of drifts past your peripheral vision, but you remain, I presume, focused on the other target. Being the bureau man you are.
Yeah, that's right.
Wegs, the creature that initially fired its spines at you now spins back, infuriated, and now begins at a flat run towards the pair of you. As you're slowly clambering back to your feet, you see it closing the distance. It's only 5 or 6 feet from you by the time you get back on your feet. And then it's John's turn.
I've got a bit of confidence about me now that one has gone down and it's now 3 against 1. I move forward to the one that has been shot on the ground and I search it.
So you roll it over, and it is a naked fish man.
Oh no!
It's got grey skin and gills and a horrible pronounced set of teeth. And give me a sanity roll.
I'll
please.
do that for you.
But at least
I failed.
Okay, so you can take 4 sanity damage from that.
I didn't find the loot and wares that I was hoping for.
You've rolled it over, and you're instantly disgusted by the fact that you've touched it. You're grossed out by this. Yeah, you find that the bullet has conveniently struck it in the very top of its soft belly area. And on examination, you can actually see that there's a hard carapace over the chest, and luckily this round just hit a little bit low, just below where the sort of human rib cage would be, and has gone into a soft part. So you can tell it was quite a lucky shot that it hit the vulnerable place.
Can I convey this information to them? Have I still got time on my turn?
Sure, you can. It'd be a quick yell though.
I've made an assessment of these creatures.
And the
They're-
turn's
Your
over.
quick yell.
So Fitz, you're still up on target.
And
I
what-
said quick. I gave you sufficient warning. If you said aim for the belly,
Get
that
the
would have been allowed.
tongue
Hello, I've
him
made
in
an
the tummy.
assessment. It hasn't yet
I
been
do love
published.
that, like, as the heavy rain of the lightning
Yeah.
cracks over the rest of what I was going to
The
say.
journal, it's not been independently verified, so take it with a grain of salt.
In between lightning strikes, you just hear, if you, with this carapace with the,
Reference to my charcoal sketches.
amygdala with the, and you're like,
Right, so Fitz, you're confused by what he was yelling at you.
and I think I missed the opportunity for some cool kind of line, like as it slid past me pulling like the baseball move and going, safe. Like, you know.
You're out?
You're out.
You're out.
You're out.
That would have been better
I
than
would've been
Yeah,
more
sorry.
silent. Yeah, I would have thought. I know.
I don't know how baseball works.
I'm the one
You
who
want to
used
play
the term
hardball?
baseball man before, and even I knew safe wasn't.
I was
the
trying to
correct
think
thing
of
say.
some like sort of sushi line, like sushi roll, more like sushi die. I don't know.
Oh.
But
I'm not sure sushi was that big in the 20s.
also, there's a fish monster running at me. It's 5 feet away.
Now, Hollywood lines are the best
Well,
thing to get out
yeah.
right now. That's half your
so
action.
can I just point out, I killed a fish man, you fell over, and you're somehow screaming out
I just got
anatomy
their weakness.
lesson
That's all that
on
needs to be
blah,
said.
So-
Bullets. Yeah, bullets in their vulnerable area. That's their weakness.
I'm going to have a shot at the other one.
Okay. Roll me a. So in fact, I'll tell you what. This one now, I would imagine, fears the gun. It's seen. It knows what a gun does. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take an attempt to try and dodge you. So it has rolled a successful dodge, which means you're going to have to roll with disadvantage because it's going to launch itself out the way when you shoot at it.
Okay. Well, my first one was a fail anyway.
Again, your round cracks wildly into oblivion. You have no idea what happens, but you see the fishman has launched itself headlong. It's dived to the ground, trying to escape. And you can see by the way it moves, it's got this like exaggerated thigh muscles. You can tell it moves very quickly. It's like built like a predator, and you're shocked that it's so quick on land. You can see the impact of its webbed feet as it hits the ground, and it launches itself sliding headlong towards Reggie, who's just clambering back to his feet. So Reggie, you find yourself in a fortuitous position though, because it's only a short distance away from you and it's lying down. What would you like to do?
I would like to point the muzzle of my gun at its cranium and discharge 5 rounds. I think maybe one would be fine at this
Sure,
stage.
aiming at the head.
Aiming at the head.
Okay, give me a roll. It's going to be a very easy one. I'll give you advantage on it. So you're going to roll twice and pick the best option.
Okay. That's good. I've rolled a 41 under a 45.
Excellent. Okay, now roll the damage dice for me. It's going to be 1d10.
1d10. I've rolled a 0.
That's a 10.
Which is a 10.
Okay,
I was about to say, oh.
Oh, yeah, that was about to go bad.
that's excellent. 10 to the back of the head. There's this almighty bang, much louder than you expect. As the
Louder
gun,
than the lightning.
the gun bucks in your hand, and you're covered in the backwash of this horrific ichor and blood that comes out of the skull of this thing. And
I take off my glasses to the side, wipe the eyes, glasses back on.
right.
Oh, there was no catchphrase.
I know, I was waiting for a cool catchphrase.
And you can give me a sanity check for being coated in horrific beast from beyond.
I've rolled a success, 37 under
Okay.
47.
So you can just lose one for me. Both of those horrific fish monsters lie dead before you, and I think Reggie's wearing half of one across the front of his clothing. So drenched out in the drowning rain. Obviously, I'm guessing you're feeling pretty aware about the very loud noises you've just made with gunshots.
These are the same creatures we saw up in the lighthouse as well.
Yeah, and you can see that they're distinctive. You can see the light fading from the one that went down's yellow eyes sort of drifting out as you watch it slowly bleed out. Sorry, that was really sad. No, it's terrible.
Like the Terminator.
It's not. Yeah, it's more like the Terminator. It's not like a
It
puppet.
reaches
It's
its little
fine.
hand out and goes,
It's about to get really gross. Can I do something?
oh, what are you going to do?
Does it involve your dissection kit?
Yeah, it does.
Sure.
Have we got time for this?
We do. I need to prove that these species exist for when we leave this island. I'm looking to take a sample, and one that is a believable sample. I try and remove the head of one of these creatures.
Not the one that I just exploded, presumably.
The other one.
All right. So what's that going to be? A zoology? Is that the?
Yep.
Sure. Do that.
I've passed. I've rolled a 50 and required a 60.
Okay. You can take. You can roll a sanity check for me as well because you're.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Which I failed.
Okay. I'll let you have advantage on that because I'm guessing, in your experience, you've dissected a lot of animals. It probably has less impact on you than the normal person.
I failed.
Yeah. Screw you then. The fact it's from an otherworldly creature has put the fear into you. You can take 3 sanity damage. And most of that comes from the fact that as you take this thing apart, you realise it doesn't conform to normal biological structures. It's not what you've seen. You can't identify readily the respiratory system that the gills lead to and everything. It's all slightly wrong. There's a wrongness to it that upsets your sense of equilibrium.
This doesn't match anything in my migrational birds and aquatic life book. Pocket book.
I feel like I'm taking stock of what's around me. Fishmen, him covered in mud and brains, him sitting there chopping up a dead monster, and I'm going, perhaps I might be the only one to get out of this alive.
Oh, is that a threat?
No, I'm just thinking about that. That's all.
Okay. Are you two, have you got ammunition to reload your revolvers?
No, I only took the 6 rounds that were in the drawer in the study.
I had 3 in the chambers. I had a box of spare 38 ammunition with 12 cartridges, and I found the 6 under Turner's bed. So
You going to share any of them? Or?
Wouldn't have thought so.
wouldn't have thought so. I reload the 2 that three, that I took stock of, and I got the 3 loose ones. I'm happy to hand them to
Chuck
you.
us one, thank you, sir.
Okay, so you're
I'm
both
back to
fully
6.
loaded. Keep track of that. I'll trust you on
You're
that one.
walking away with your pockets jingling of ammunition.
Fresh out, sorry.
You're still walking north.
Yeah, I've scooped up the coin purse, by the way.
Do I mock you for your good plan?
Jiggling the purse.
Jiggling the purse as it then turned around and shot you.
A great idea. It just wasn't rewarded on this occasion.
Yeah,
I did
feel
like
like
it.
I
I did
can
like
wear-
it.
I
I
feel
did
like-
like the. I did like.
Well-
I like the idea that it's like a fish. It just takes the bait because it's shiny. It's just like, ooh.
Yeah, ooh,
For-
all right,
for
we'll
a
go away. But
For a second, I thought it was like keeling over and like submissing, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's what I
it's
thought.
worked well. It's going submissive, and then it
shot
shoots you with
spines
its
at
butt.
me.
And then you executed it. And I'm like, oh, I'm none the wiser what's going on there.
You're continuing your way up. Are you still moving in the middle of the path?
I would think so.
Yeah, I think we're hot.
We've still got our lanterns, but obviously they're not doing much to help us.
No problem. So again, there's this constant unsettling feeling of being watched, and you do see yellow eyes blinking, appearing and disappearing in the shrubbery either side of you. And as you come to that sort of narrow point, as you get near the exit, the end of the lighthouse building, there's a clump of bushes right near the exit there before you open up towards the north pier. Tensions rising.
I'm wondering, considering how your coin thing didn't work that time, is this still a good plan?
Well, I'm a little disappointed it didn't work. The only thing I can think is there might be something on the North Shore that will give us more options.
The way I see it, the 2 locations we have are the North Shore and there's the boat, which is to the south. They're the 2 places that are drawing my attention.
Yeah, and we came from the North Shore though.
There's no reason for us to go to the south.
Only that we hadn't been there before, and there's a boat there.
Well,
Or we can go hole up in the
Well, when we came
lighthouse.
from the north, we didn't have the coins and we didn't know what was going on. We were just focused on survival. So if we go up to the North Shore, have a look around, there might be something.
I'm starting to think we should hold up in the lighthouse
For how long and to do what?
until daylight, until rescue comes.
This island has come to life. I need you to get me off this island, Bureau Man.
I'm calling it. We got to go north, and I know he's with me. He being the person I'm pointing to. Nautical John. Nautical John's... he's been with me to this point.
The ocean's calling me. And I'm willing to answer.
Sorry, what?
I flashed my gills. So what are we doing?
I'm going north.
I'm following you.
I'll bring up the rear. I don't want to split up.
And look, if there's nothing up there, we'll hot-foot it down south.
So you make your way up, nervous all the way, and you crunching along this gravel path. The rain, there's no shelter from the rain now. You're out in the full open. It's driving into you, and the waves are breaking against the shore, half submerging the pier. And looking across towards the mainland, you can just see there is one tiny spot of light right on the direct line if you were to head from your pier across to the shore. But there's nothing on the pier. There is no one there. As you stand there and turn your backs on the ocean, you see another youngling pair emerge. Tiny little, 4.5, 5 feet tall, muscular, lantern-jawed, disgusting abominations. What unholy being has brought these to light? That's what you ask yourself. How can there be a god? How can this world be so cruel to humans?
How many of these?
I'm
can
waiting
I
for you
shoot?
to do something. I'll
I'm
keep
so
philosophizing.
I'm getting scared, and we're out in the open. I think we need to go and hide. I genuinely do.
If I spend a moment under cover from these guys, looking around for something, will I find anything?
And spend a moment and find out.
I'm already moving along the shore towards the south. I'm heading back towards the path. I'm calling on both of you. I'm like, there's parts of this island we haven't seen yet that must hold the answer. We need to go.
So you, as you step towards the path, these two younglings shriek and sort of bear down and start charging towards you.
I'm gutted. Like I genuinely thought there was going to be something here to give us an answer. I rip the coin purse open and I throw the damn coins at the monsters in frustration.
I shoot one.
You shoot one of the coins.
No,
He's good.
the old Wild West dog.
Yeah, the monsters stand by impressed.
Like
No,
I genuinely thought this was going to be the answer, and so out of like sheer desperate frustration, I've just like ripped it open and thrown the coins.
Sure. So the coins tumble through the air, you know, glinting in the rain as they go through, and this fortuitous time clap of thunder and lightning lights them up, and you see instantly the beast's eyes fixate on them and follow them down to where they're on the dirt and start scrabbling frantically, sort of inexpertly digging holes in the ground as they're trying to pick them up and scoop them into their chests, and like jealously backing away into the woods, clutching handfuls of these coins as they look and hiss at you. Fitz, you've still got a gun raised and pointed at them. What would you like to do?
I feel like I want to shoot them, but
No.
But they are backing off, so I might change that move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'll be on standby to see what they do next.
So they continue backing away, clutching these coins, fiercely hissing and spitting at you. And one of them seems to keep sort of half flicking around as if to brandish his back spikes at you. And they back into the solid thicket and disappear. The thicket keeps moving. There's still these noises from all around you. You don't feel safe, but you can't see them anymore. The coins are all gone. They've all been scooped from the ground.
We have no coins left.
You have no coins.
And then
You're left, Reggie, clutching a torn open purse.
And I'm just like, I can't believe that's worked. I thought we had to do something, not just give the coins back. I sort of look at these two and I think, maybe we just wait here for the boat to come.
But they might come back. I feel like that's just bought us some time.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
you could have been like skimming them one by one across the water, and they all scurry out to chase one.
I think they just wanted the coins back.
I genuinely think now that the creatures have given us time, I cannot express I really feel we need to go hole up in the lighthouse. My reasoning is that there are creatures all over this island. The more out in the open we are, the more exposed we are. Even if they do attack us or come for us again or come looking for more coins, we have a better chance with our backs against the wall, hold up, secure somewhere.
Yeah, maybe even get the generator going again. Get the light, get the radio.
I mean, what was his name? Cassidy was holed up in the lighthouse for a reason. I mean, we know they can get up there, but I just feel like it's defensible. It's a tower.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's my vote.
All right.
So you make your way, you slowly, cautiously, anxiously back towards the lighthouse and go back in through the door you came out of, bolting the door behind you as you go in.
Kicking over tables to block the way.
Yeah, sure.
Do we
Jamming, you can do the thing where you jam a chair under the door handle.
Yeah.
They always fit perfectly in the movies. Yep.
presume on the way back where there's no rustling of bushes?
There's continual rustling of bushes. The weather continues to be abominable, and you keep swearing that you catch from the corner of your vision movement, but nothing launches from you. You remain wary your whole trip back, but you safely get inside with no intervention. And you shut all the doors and you slowly make your way back up the lighthouse tower. And as you reach the top, you find it unchanged from how you left it. And from the peak, Nautical John, using your binoculars, you can see the same cluster of shapes that you saw start moving away, and these faint, almost dorsal fin tracks appear before swiftly disappearing beneath the waves. Using your binoculars, you look over at the shore nearest you on the mainland, and you can see that one single point of light you saw last time be extinguished as it drifts down into the waves and is gone. A few hours later, the sun comes up.
Yay!
And a couple of very happy young people from the Coast Guard service set foot on the island. And in the search of the island, they find the body in the woods. Turner's body. And he's been eviscerated. Sure enough, Fitz, you discover he's got a nasty tooth mark in his chest, in his neck there, and you find his service revolver embedded in his chest cavity where it's been pushed. Very sad man. He's been turned inside out. But on the plus side, you're all okay and surprisingly sane for what you just survived.
Yes.
I've been clutching this fish monster head wrapped in my raincoat like it's an iceberg lettuce, refusing to let it go.
Well, it just occurred to me that there's two perfectly full bodies sitting up in the lighthouse with us as well.
Funny there's not.
Oh.
Because when you went back in, I've just decided that they were gone. Otherwise, his specimen has no meaning. So to give him some value, the retcon is they were gone.
Yay!
Well, Turner, whose real name was Warren, a friend of mine, I'm devastated. I will avenge him. I don't know how, I don't know when.
You'll have to live with the sadness of that for all your days. And isn't that the real horror?
No, it's the fish monsters.
Oh, yeah.
No, yes, correct. It's the fish monsters.
Right, well, that has been the Lightless Beacon from Call of Cthulhu. That was thanks to Chaosium Games. It's a free scenario. It's on their website. If you play it, you'll read it and go, oh, that's rubbish. He's made changes. You're right. I have, just because I wanted to. That's the joy of the system. But we really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. You guys, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm excited to never play it again because it's too scary. So
The atmosphere you created was very tense.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
Is
The man
there
can tell a story.
any risk of maybe a daylight one? No rain, no thunder?
Yeah, the next
no
one will
fish
be
monsters?
full daylight, no monsters. It'll just be about
Kittens.
using your library use skill to keep things.
Oh,
off the
finally.
top.
Yes.
Wait. Yes.
we find some kittens in a box and raise them, and they're
Yeah.
nice.
That's the real adventure.
In a library.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much if you've listened to us this far. We really appreciate it. As we always say, we really appreciate reviews. They help us an awful lot get exposure. In-universe reviews are our favourite type. So, write your review as a lonely lighthouse keeper and how you wish something exciting would happen.
Or as the Coast Guard.
Yeah, just a rescued man with iceberg lettuce head. Would recommend. We're going to start reading out our favourites as we sort of catch up with the flow. We're going to put them in. So your chance to be podcast famous and have your review read out. Otherwise, you can help if you're interested. Jump on the Patreon. We've got very low entry tiers there that gets you access to all kinds of special features, both for us and the Flashing Badger YouTube channel, which if you haven't watched, you should. Its focus is on painting at the same as the podcast here, amateur level, non-expert,
Amateur level.
pitched for amateurs. Obviously,
You said if I'm paying
a
attention.
complete expert painter showing amateurs how to do it. But no, it's all about bringing hobbies back to ground level where there's no barriers to entry and there's no skill ceiling, and we just do what's fun.
Fish monsters in the back
Shoot
of the
fish
head.
monsters because we have no experience. Jump on our Discord. Very active community that's very friendly. You don't even have to listen to any of the stuff. Just get on there and talk to people, and it's fun. And you can help shape the future of the podcast. More importantly, coming up, next time. We've got a couple of freeform RPGs. We have, let me see if I get the title right. Oh, dang. Bigfoot Stole My Car with a birthday present inside, which sounds completely insane, and we're really looking forward to running that one. It's a one-page RPG, and if you've caught Crash Pandas before, you know how completely wild that can get. I've really enjoyed myself. Thank you. I've talked for a long time. I would like to thank my players very much for being here.
Fitz is here. Thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Very freaked out.
Mike, I had so much fun as Nautical John. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Wegs and Gordon, special shout out to you. Thanks, mate. You made it horrifying and miserable and terrifying, and I'm probably going to sleep with the light on tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank
Which
you.
is why we'll never play it again.
Excellent. And if you were here for the 40k stuff, don't forget our Only War podcast. Shanadar is my favourite of all time, so you'll hear him played by Fitz. Thanks very much. It's been great having you here. We'll catch you next time.
See you, everyone.
See ya.
And that was Benny Goodtime Swing Band with Girls in Aubergine Dresses, Won't You Come Home Over to Jive. Now we have something new for all you folks in Radioland, what we are calling a sports report. An update on all the sporting news happening today with your reporter, Jack Jiminy. Jack? Well, welcome, Fly Boys and Fly Girls, to the most comprehensive and accurate view of all the ducky match games being played. Well, all the dollies and drugstore cowboys were out for the big final last night, and boy, oh boy, what a doozy. With it all on the line, the fluky home team brought it back in spectacular fashion, leaving the visitors looking like dewdroppers on the wrong glad bags. Yes, sir, those boys really had the juice joints full of floor flushes, celebrating the big win. And what about this morning's game and/or match that doesn't even need a name to be mentioned? That favorite, who we all know as a bit of a baby grand, saw a lot of heavy sugar thrown about at what the bookies had down as an easy win against the known ragamuffin challenger. These papers were reporting that this whisk broom is having a real problem with the Panther Sweat. Only 1 week ago, however, in a massive upset, the crowd were left casting kittens when the wise guy hit on all sixes, causing our lad to look like a healer with mismatched dogs. It was all applesauce as he emerged victorious in a surprise win. And last but not least, the live score telegraphed electronically from that place yonder where it's being played has the flappers and the face stretchers alike clutching their oyster fruits. As it comes down to the wire, with both of them tied, even the dowdy fire extinguishers are distracted from their tomatoes as we wait to see who will come out playing the wangdoodle in victory. That's all from the big cheese in the sports desk. This reporter has to blouse. Back to you, Tom.